What is up? Workbringer here, and today I'm going to be taking you through my first Sanguine Depths 10 route here, my first run plus 10ing it, and this is a route that I had designed before this, of course, and it's a pug, but I told the raid leader as I joined early to bring a rogue, please, like just really wait for a rogue, and I was like, just trust me, it's going to make your life easy, we're going to make an easy plus 10 for you, and we did wait. It was the last fill, was to get this rogue. So we're running in here. I tell them we're going to slow pull this, right? Because we want to kind of judge what's going on. So immediately, treants are out. Very good sign. Boomkin. Crazy utility. Basically, right now during... get back here. You don't have aggro on those, like, immediately. You just don't. You always have to go get the animated weapons. But Boomkin right now is just so OP for treants. And then mass entangling roots for spites, and you'll see that throughout this dungeon. So this is pretty much the perfect comp for Sanguine Depths, in my opinion. The Holy Paladin, if they know how to do it right, does extremely well here because it's very close quarters, right? There's only a couple spread cleave moments, but Sanguine Depths, of course, it's like all quarters, so works quite well. So we're working on this next pack here. And the play here is to take these packs one at a time because they have spites, and then slowly kite them backwards, in my opinion, to dodge the traps, especially for our rogue here. We want to pull the trash out of the trap so that they can keep doing their work. And then, you know, the corridors, if we don't have a very strong... like Ursul's is probably good enough to walk away, but, you know, we don't want them, like, coming up behind us. So we'll take our time here. And this is the trickier of the packs, and this takes a little bit of strategy. So treants are out. That's going to be okay unless they drop traps, because then the rogue has a harder time getting some DPS on them. But you'll see that the traps are spawning on me for the most part, I think, and I'm just trying to kite them out of the traps and then not get hit by the frontal thrust, which is in like all directions. And it's a nice warm-up for what is the hardest trash pack in the game, or not in the game, no, the hardest trash pack in the game is definitely Spires. Spires and or the other side, second pull of the other side. But anyway, let's stay here. Dodge the frontals, kite these back so that we don't have so many traps on top of us. Try to get the other way is a disaster because, of course, that will start to bring the spites and everything towards the next pack, which we want to do in a very clean way as well. And, you know, leave the spites and look how many traps we've kite back, right? Like, if you step in 2 of those, I think most people would die. They're pretty spicy out of 10. We're going to pull this friend, and we're going to also take this friend at the same time for efficiency. Just kind of cleave them down. Nothing really to do here other than... I really don't need treants for this, but I guess the cooldown on treants is like nothing. Only thing to do here is to just try to interrupt the gluttonous tick. That's about it. There's nothing much to min-max. Everyone should be saving mana and just kind of like, you know, getting ready for the next kind of pull. I pre-warned people that we're going to skip this patrol coming up next and to not use Shroud. I learned that Shroud is a 6-minute cooldown in case we do make it. That we have a boss fight, so 6 minutes would probably have it back. But I'm just like, don't burn Shroud. Everyone just take your time skipping the patrol just in case we start killing it. So this is fine timing. He's a very slow boy. Like, I think he stops there, to be honest. But unless he's like right in front of the door, you can just pretty much like hot foot it. Like, he's still back there, right? Just making sure everyone's here before we proceed. I think I might be able to pull that tick that goes below the ground with my shield, double hit him and get him up front. But I actually planned the route in Mythic Dungeon Tools to not have that tick get pulled. And this route isn't massively fragile. Like, if you saw my Necrotic Wake 10 or 11 or whatever that one was, that's very fragile. That's like 0.7. We go up there and do a 0.7 pull. I do the patrol, and if you're off by a little bit, it's GG's for the route being perfect, getting prideful nicely. We'll see that I have my new trinket. It's on cooldown right now. That comes from the other side. It's called Blood Barrier, and that is a good trinket. You pop it, and it does pretty big DPS AoE. And it also gives me like a 20k bubble to start. So defensive bubble. And then gives me more bubble depending on who's around me. So it's an AoE threat grabber burst, I think off global cooldown, and then a big defensive, big shield. So I've been using that. It's kind of low level. It's a 194. I don't have the 200 version or the 203, but I'm going to start farming to other side soon. It is the best on-use trinket for sure. And the other trinket I have, which you can see is the Gluttonous Spike, that does passively like 5% healing for me, which is pretty decent, and DPS. It's not massive, but you know, these two trinkets are putting in a lot of heals now that I use them. So I tell everyone to kill this evenly. Mostly the big guy. We don't want the big guy up. Like these ticks aren't gonna hurt anybody. We are gonna be spawning spites, which can be a little dangerous, but we do have a druid and a mage, so if they can just, you know, split their attention between, you know, CCing spites and killing pride, we should be fine. I'm not like overly worried. I think I hodged that one to let his life just end there. So quite clean so far. And this is the route. Anyone can do this, right? This doesn't require a rogue. You'll see that to get perfect pride spawns next, in my opinion, especially on fortified, it does require a rogue, and this is how I would advise myself to do it. I don't know what you're going to do. Anyway, we're running in. I believe we're going to lust this as well. I do want to tank this in the middle of the room. We almost one-phase this boss. I mean, we technically do one-phase it, but we almost kill it before we get to the orbs. Like, almost. Anyway, interrupt. But I tank him here now. No, this rogue, oh my god. I'm like, dude, turn around. Oh my god. He would have died. That would have one-shot him if he had taken that alone, I'm pretty sure. Unless he had some sort of, like, tricksy rogue vanish. I don't know if they have that. But I tank him in the middle, even if I lose a little pride uptime, because for this, right? So we didn't one-phase him. Like, close. Look at his health, though. Not bad. We're pretty confident on health. I'm going to take that one. Druid's almost dead, but hopefully pops a defensive. Punchy heal. And almost zero phased him, like no phase, like, right? That's a pretty quick kill with pride. Very nice. Druid definitely saved DPS. Oh, we have a Frost Mage. I didn't even notice that. We don't have a... You know, I'll take the Frost Mage. Their DPS isn't Fire Mage, but their utility, I think they probably have more more freeze spells as far as spites, so I'll take the utility. And our Druid probably convoked the spirits all over that all over that guy. We almost zero-phased that boss, right? Like it never even did its first mechanic. That's pretty ideal comp right here. So the rogue contributes like great utility as well, as far as being able to like stun some spites and you know, overall do good DPS. But their real value in Sanguine Depths comes right after these next two packs here, and I start pre-telling people about what's going to happen, so that they can kind of play their cooldowns. Like, don't burn cooldowns on this trash. Like, try to live, you know, survival and offensive. Like, these packs are not where we burn it, because we're going to get a pride in just a bit. Just generally, right? Like they may not be watching. I just tell them ahead of time. Voice comms would be much more efficient, but anyway, it would have been nice to have voice, because yeah, I can kind of pace people, you know. And again, we're not playing around Fire Mage Combustion or anything like that, but still, I mean, Convoke's not gonna be back for a little while either. But we're cleaning this one up, and I think a more ambitious group, you could definitely take those to like this group with that guy, but it just makes it like overly hectic. I marked the wrong one. We do want to uber focus the Grand Overseer down, and you'll see that we should have interrupted that, but actually the most important mechanic here is going to happen soon. And when he does his chains, if you do, because we're not trying to burn cooldowns, right? When he does this Dread Bindings, run away. On higher keys, this will kill you. It's unhealable, right? Someone ice blocked it. Like, see, like we just died to sitting there. Everyone use your mobility, run away and come back. On even higher keys, I've seen people do 17s of this place. It's mandatory that you preemptively start doing it, because he just sits there. He doesn't really move. So when you see that casting, you start running away or ice block. And so GG to the mage and everyone for doing that. I'm like, let's take the time and clean these up, because you know, the next pack, again, we have to run away from Dread Binding. So let's, you know, not that that's probably going to overlap, but it's my judgment to clean those up pretty clean and not like run away. So this one, there's a patrol. So I'm going to pull this and run away, and you'll see me do this a lot in Sanguine Depths. So there's a lot of mobs that won't move from being interrupted, but they'll move from being ranged. So that's a range pull. And then that was a silence pull to bring him in. And we're very far away from the patrol. There's a bit of a swirly-whirly mage spell back there. I'm glad that didn't pull the patrol. That would have ended this run as far as being optimal. I don't even know. So yeah, run, run, run. Do I off-heal anybody else? I should have off-healed our Holy Paladin. But that's the main mechanic here. It's one, focus him down, but unless you're wasting cooldowns, we want cooldowns for Pride. You just run away and try to interrupt the bad casts. But it's going quite fine. Everyone's health is full up, mana's full up on the Paladin, and hopefully people kind of still have their like majors. And I think everyone knows the fight we're going into next is the burner. However, because I really pushed for this rogue skip, very proud to show you how this next one goes. So, the next boss. So we're gonna shroud skip the Grand Overseer. Except it takes a long. This is where voice comms like really needs to be happening. We need to shroud skip it. We want to do time here. That dude's coming towards us, but we got time. And I'm like shroud skip, and I'm like now, like the patrol is coming towards us. I'm like go now. And I'm like, why are we sitting here? You might have, I'm like, the patrol is coming. Like, can we shroud now? There it goes. Oh my God. I think he distracts. Gonna distract. We made it. Okay. We made it. So far it's a full pug route. Like anyone can do it except for that rogue skip. But if you're doing high sanguines, one, bring a Venthyr. Venthyr would have helped too. We can Venthyr pot, which means double pulls. So if you're trying to +2, you need the Venthyr pot because the Venthyr pots basically are always in between 2 packs. So it basically means double pull and take the Venthyr buff that you get from it, right? Save your coolants for that, and then you get like a mini prideful basically buff. I take time to take damage, and I emphasize don't let those out of here. Don't pull the outside pack. Obviously, we shroud skipped it. Don't let them run away. That's what they want to do. They want to run outside. I tell the druid here to soothe this enraged one. If you soothe that one, it just dies. Ready? It's going to be soothe and dead. I think I'm typing it at some point. Like, look at his health. Ready? Soothe him. He's enraged. Soothe the big dude. Soothe him. Wait for it. Come on now. Look at his health. He's got a lot left. Soothe this man. Soothe him. Dead. Boom. Okay, that's a soothe. Right? We don't want him alive while we're dealing with Pride in here. So this is one of the safer places to get Pride. If you don't have a rogue, you're generally going to get Pride either by pulling a side room pack, which I don't like doing because technically it's backtracking, or you get it on the pack that's outside that we skipped. And that's a really sketchy place to get it because you could end up butt pulling this or butt pulling the patrol. So you have to really close range it. And it's not great. This is much safer. So let's run away. We have Pride. You pretty much don't use this Pride very well, but it times out, you'll see, for the next one. Omega perfectly. I mean, this is I've seen a couple, but this is the route. One rogue. Venthyr would be nice too. We probably would have +2 this with a Venthyr because I could have double pulled in the beginning. You can... I don't ever double pull this hallway because these research scribes, you have to cast range them. You can't like interrupt, move them around. So it's just bad. I should have skull priority targeted this one because we have a rogue. And basically between me and a rogue, there's just no way someone casts. But we do let that big guy let out a couple casts. And it's pretty big damage and like kind of like trap somebody. So that's like the must interrupt. Like you're just stressing out the healer. Okay. I see the patrol very far away, so it's safe to pull these, but look how I pull it. We run. Because we don't want that patrol. That patrol makes this real messy. That research scribe, once it gets in range of me, will stop, and you can never move her again, unless I keep ranging, right? Silence the Quill Feather, that's a regular magic one, and then they're going to put down a red circle on the floor to kind of remind you how the fight's going to go, and so you just want to kite it away because we have a melee, right? We do have 2 very strong ranged, but the mechanic with this trash, which is what's dangerous, is they want you to body pull the patrol, is what happens. So the red pool goes down. So maybe someone goes on the other side. That's a big no-no. And then there's this red pool, so melee can't get to her, and she'll just sit in the red pool. So you got to pull her back ahead of time. I know this because I've wiped to this place, or had very harrowing moments Red pool goes away. We want the patrol solo, and I'm again going to pull it away because of the red pool mechanic. I don't want people jumping to the other side, okay? Right, so there's timings that are fortunate with this. There's timings that are a little worse, but this is safe, right? They are the patrol, and with the red pool down, don't jump towards the next pack. It's almost never the gargoyle right there. It's usually the last one. It can be the one before the boss, which is super weird, but it's typically the next one. So again, we're safe to dispense this. There's the red circle, and so she's just sitting there. You can't move her unless you range her, and yeah, you want to focus her down. We have some shades. Remnant of Fury has a cast you kind of want to kick, but it's mostly understanding the patrol patterns and the fact that these are going to leave red pools on the ground, right? We could have killed it on that Venthyr pot too. It's not a huge gain, right? Mass Entangle. I'm like, let's go. Right, cool. So we're going to kill this next Death Warden. I should have priority targeted. I'm going to pull it back a little bit again. It's just like, it's not like necessary here. And it's actually a little bit bad because we kind of like grouped them out. But what I don't want again is to accidentally body pull. We gotta interrupt that. I get it. We don't want to body pull the gargoyle because it is somewhat random where it will be. We can be fine here with the gargoyle. Maybe it's a little bit of time saving, but the gargoyle does a big frontal. That was my trinket right there. Ba-boom, boom. Like it. A lot of healing. I watched it. I looked at my I watched the recount of the fights after this, and that's big heals, that trinket. Big heals, big damage, very good trinket. I have to farm the worst dungeon in the game. Still, other side, I hate that dungeon. But that's the one. Anyway, with all these spites and all these spells, why bot? Oh, that goes off, right? Bad. Someone's stuck in a box now. It's the Boomkin. He got out. Maybe he can dispel the curses or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway, with all this, you don't want to body pull the gargoyle in because it's nasty, man. It does the craggy fracture, and a lot of things going on. Looking at silences. Someone eats the craggy fracture. Why wipe? Why wipe it? This is typically the gargoyle that pulls, but I'm telling you, maybe I have it in runs. It can be the next one down, which I think is unfortunate. But we're gonna take the frontal here. Not much of my health. The only thing to watch for is craggy, of course, and turn to stone just makes this go too long. I think we let it go. Oh, no, I barely got it. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're moving along. And, yep, craggy. Right, you don't want to do that while you're fighting the other ones. And they do the chain. It's just too much together if we can have a chill. That little stop right there is to say I'm kiting. I'm like... So here's the thing. I'm going to immediately kite back. I don't want to have a shade eating my healer, right? So we give him the shield and immediately run. Get a little threat, Divine Toll, get that threat up here. And I tell him, I was like, I'm kiting, so give me the Ursals. We have a silence. Watch the catnip on the ground from the scroll. And we're kiting it back. This is how we do this move. Just don't even sit there, stress out your healer, get to like 50% health. Just like don't. Treants coming in. Treants instantly kill. Those things, frenzied, are one shot. Super one shot, so I got to keep the consecration to slow him, keep the threat up, give him the A shield, give him the shield of righteous. We got a nice frost nova, so like the frost mage is pretty helpful here. No combust, but the CC for this dungeon, right? And now we start to make up time, right? A tiny bit, and we got pride. So we have a lot of shades coming up here, and so I'm gonna try to pull pride away. Perfect mass entangle from the druid. Let's not break it, right? So I'm just pulling pride away from the mass entangle, and we're safe to just start mowing it down, right? So in my opinion, those are very safe timings for pride here. In that little room is very safe, I think is pretty chill. Especially if you soothe that one, it's kind of like this mechanic that if you have a hunter with trank shot or a druid with soothe, you just kill that. That mob doesn't do anything, otherwise it sits there. So we're gonna hot foot it back. I'm pretty sure everyone's wondering how this is going to go. This is the cleanest kill of this boss I've ever done. I'm glad it was on the 10. So we pulled it back. Everyone should be on the inside. I don't know if that mage got hit, but, you know. Castigate goes out on the healer. I give them a word of glory, I believe. Boom. Right, because it's Grievous. Let's help out. Manifestation spawns. Time Warp's already out. We melt that thing. That's dead. Instantly switch over out of the red. Rogue still has uptime. All their laser comes. Castigate goes. I'm sitting in it. Not good. It's on the balance druid, I think. Right? Now it's gone. Healer has healed it. Ooh, 30%. Feels good. On the right side of the place again, here comes the laser. Here comes that laser. Boom. Switching back over. this boss is no more. I don't even think we need to kill the manifestation. I switch to it just in case and bow. So what was that? 2 manifestations? 3? Quickness, right? With the quickness. That's how you want that boss to die. You can also Venthyr pot it. But when you're kiting those other ones, it's kind of hard. So this gargoyle freaks me out. My route plans for this gargoyle later. But I'm like, hey, let's take it. Rogue dies. Gets hit by the frontal. What I should be doing is pulling this back. Is very possible. Stone Skin goes off. Rip. My fault completely. Tank is always first kick, right? On a pull like this. Like just usually. And I completely botched it. I'm also tanking this in an incredibly not safe place. Because I wasn't really expecting this to be here. I thought this was going to happen later. So I'm just lucky. Because if the patrol had come right now, that would be pretty bad. That would not be very... not great. Not great. So patrol's still not here. And so we're going to... Oh, I see the patrol. And I tell everyone... Oh, and I think treants are out. I tell everyone, I was like, we got to move. We got to move. Or this is wipe. I'm trying to just pick up threat. I think I'm going to stop that one. Yeah, we got to get back. Okay, so I think treants are doing the dance. But you can just line this. Or not, it's not an LOS. It's just a distance thing, right? And so we sketchily pull this back. That's what this room is, though. I'm like, we're like going home because I need to get those... I need to get those research scribes back into the middle. This is safe. Now, if that balance druid's Bali pulls the pack, we're in a bad place. But anyway, this is how you tank this place. In my opinion, you just need to know this. You can pull them really far back. If you've cleared all the trash, you're good to go, right? So yeah, don't pull that patrol. That's pretty wipe sauce because they leave red dots on the ground. There's no spread cleave ability. Double checking route, and we need one more is what I check, right? I need one more. I could have died there probably, but... trying to time it. And I typed to everyone, don't go down, right? And everyone kind of knows that. So what I actually want is the patrol past it, is that like group there. But the patrol should be the same count. It's actually a little more. So this is a bit of a gamble on the route. This is different than I normally want. And again, given the way that this trash works, let's just pull it back. You can accidentally see the red pool can split up your party. Let's split up the party towards the way we're going to go. There's that aspect, but you can also accidentally pull another group. There are ads inside of those gates, which you kind of have to open and like really try to pull, but it's been done. Those have been pulled before, which is again route ending, right? The next ones over there are frenzied ghouls. I don't really want new frenzied ghouls because then I gotta run away. So this was the judgment. Here is to wait for the patrol. However, if the patrol was like really, really far away, you could also pull the next pack and then run them all the way back. Just checking out count. We're supposed to have 67. We have 70. But it should still time out fine. So we don't... Everyone's like, we going? Like, but luckily everyone waits. Like, thank you, group. I think we've done this so confidently that they're not rushing. No one's saying anything about it. Because we have smashed this dungeon. And like, I'm like the talkative person here. I'm like telling them all about the route. And so far, I think I've been delivering on how this route's supposed to be going. Anyway, bad timing with the patrol, unfortunately. So because of this is spiteful, you can speed this up a little bit by just dancing everyone out of here, right? So CC that shade. CC it. There it is. Okay, cool. Let's keep bringing this one to the other one. It's gonna die. And then CC that shade, right? It's like these are itty bitty time things, but this is a pretty efficient pull of this pat. I would typically have had the other patrol too, but this actually times out fine. And see, we leave the spites in the background. Okay, we don't have CC for that one apparently. I think I hodge it or something. Or I just kill it. That works too. But itty bitty efficiencies because this is such an easy pack. But like, so let's do it quick, right? Let's do this confidently. Getting pride for her is not a gain and breaks the rest of the dungeon, or you have to rogue skip again. Like, so basically, if I pulled another pack after this, upstairs in the circle, which I could have, we would have had pride on this, right? If I had gotten this, like if at this point we were like at 78 or 77, I think these are like 1.5 or something like that. I'd have to math it out. But yeah, I mean, especially if we were at 78 or 79, we'd have pride here. But we don't need pride on her. She's nothing. This is fortified as well. Tyrannical, I can alter the route on Tyrannical to get it here. I still don't think so. Because even on Tyrannical, the trash next is brutal. Like, we just entered hard mode. 2 circles, I'm good. People, there's still 4 circles out there, so a lot of damage goes out. Look how much the Druid takes. Ouchies. I have all my cooldowns. I have Guardians and Divine and Hands, and like, I don't do anything here. I basically drop a defensive for Iron Spikes. Boom, I used my Trinket. Look how much damage I take from Iron Spikes. A little bit, you know, 30-40%. But the spikes shielded me for like 20k. So I get like 2 spikes for free. Good trinket use. Best trinket in game for sure for tanking. There's just no question in my mind. Plus I popped it with some damage. I took 3 there. There's a 4th one someone should have took. Like that, like Zippy Rogue should have taken. Maybe I think they did. No, it's just sitting there. So Druid's almost dying. I heal them up immediately. Obviously the Holy Paladin saw how dead the Druid is after. But it's not a hard fight. You know, people are kind of dying. So maybe for the healer, they're like, I would like Pride here. But as far as tanking, and you'll see, unfortunately, my only flaw of this run is coming up, unfortunately. But route is still perfection, which is what I'm really testing. Guardian of Ancient Kings, Iron Spikes does 20% of my health. That's nothing, you know, great. Still have it. I'll take 3, right? Whatever. And I'm kind of focusing. Everyone's full health, but I think we kill her before. Oh no, right goes off, and then we kill her. Ouch. But anyway, that fight's not hard without Pride, right? I don't know. There's pretty easy to recognize damage patterns. Oh, it's like the tank's gonna get hit, and I don't know why I opened this up. It's like the tank is gonna get hit, and then the party's gonna get hit, and then the tank is gonna get hit, and it's just, I don't know. I know when to cool down, and so does the healer, right? So. Anyway, I tell them this is Pride. And I tell them this every single time because that's what wipes you. I did a 13 earlier today, and I was like, oh, this group's a 13. They must know what's up. Like, and I didn't tell them like when Pride was coming. And I didn't say explicitly kill evenly. And it went terrible. We died on every Pride pack. And so what happens is Pride timings like this. If you kill like 2 of them and 2 are still full health, it's pretty dicey, especially at a 13 because Pride destroys you. Perfectly brought those down together. Bunch of traps, bunch of spites. So what are we going to do? Kind of sketch. But we got to get this boy away from all the spites and the traps, okay? So we're pulling him into the corner here. Let those spites just kill themselves. GG's, okay? So that's the timing here. And the next trash pull for timing, I'm going to take all together. If we're not so bad on time, which we're not bad on time, but, you know, we have Pride. And so Pride makes me able to... I think I assassinated the Druid there, sorry. Pride gives me more confidence about taking these together at higher keys, but it's fortified. These are beasts. And so you'll kind of see what happens. But what you can do, which is funny enough, we probably have Shroud back at this point. You can actually skip this... You can skip this Sentinel, which he's the Craggy Fracture, and... I basically, you'll see. I either died a Craggy or a Thrust. I don't remember. We'll find out. This is my first time watching it back. I'm getting wrecked. I think I get a Thrust and a Crag or something. And I have the chains, right? So it's a lot of damage. It's a Thrust. I'm about to get thrusted. Yeah. GG's me. But GG's no release, right? I'm looking at this Druid. I'm like, okay. And I Divine Shield here. Rip. If I had Divine Shield back there, I would have had threat on everybody and immunity, but I get it back. But so we still have all this lust, and I think this is the play. I just need to not be bad, right? Because so turn skin has gone on, which turn to stone, which kind of negates the part of the lust that we have, or not lust, the Pride buff, because like he just has more health then, like so rip. But this is like kind of unnecessary chaos, so you can actually pull just the 2, but with Prideful, I think that kind of feels bad. So had I not died, I think everyone else lived. That's me. I'm an idiot. I ate the Thrust, and I stood right in the Thrust, and I died, and rip. But, oh, did someone else die too? Anyway, oh, it looks like maybe the mage died. You can take that easier. And so, what's 2 deaths? 10 seconds? I don't know. I might be in the camp of killing those as 2 separate packs to just feel good, because this is the gauntlet, right? This, however, I am extremely practiced at. I bop our healer. I don't know what's going on. Bopping paladins is sketch. And this might be magical damage, but I bopped him. It's just, it was kind of a reaction call. But I don't want my healer to die right here. I'm not sure what they got hit by. Maybe magic or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I should get spell warding. Bop is not that useful. And so much of the dungeons are magic, I think, where we get... Basically, if people are... There's like 10 mobs and like they're all casting magic spells. It's like you can't interrupt them all necessarily. You can cap totem and there's like a... You know, warlocks have like a big stun. But it's those big magic hits that are dangerous in dungeons I find so far. Especially at the higher ones, like in Theater Pain, whatnot. Don't have Gargon threat. I always have to check if it's like I don't have threat or they're on the treants. Taking a little bit of a breather, let the H-Pal get him up, right? Because so H-Pals are not really mana dependent. I mean, they can but they're holy power dependent. So basically, if I like go 1, 2, they probably have holy shock back. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then if they have holy shock back, maybe they have something else. I'm just like, you know, think like their pace and my pace, we're probably kind of similar haste. I'm not quite 20 yet, which is kind of like the haste cap you want for any of the paladins. If you prioritize it as your second. I kind of have to break some of these stuns to get Gargon threat here, but we're doing the thing. Paladin, H-Pals at around 60%. Well, that's okay. That's okay. I lose threat on the Gargs, right? Kind of sketchy here. People should be focusing the boss and letting everything else cleave. If you like trying to drop deeps on, you know, because that's how I'm doing it. If you like, you know, if you focus combust a bear, I'm gonna lose aggro because I'm just like kind of passively cleaving them with Glorious Hammer or whatever it's called, and Consecration and like Bouncy Shield. I'm not doing any focused attacks on anyone else. So again, if anyone like is like, yeah, all cooldowns on a bear, it's like I can't get aggro, or it's not easy. I have to then think, right? Gloom Squall, plenty of time. Let's just all hang out. Me, the bear, Call, everyone chilling together. So perfect mechanics to this group. At this point, in a 10 and higher, if you have to explain regular mythic mechanics, it's GG. Like you can't like me dodging the thrust. I hope it's clear. I think it's clear to the group. It's like I understand to do it. I just effed it. So bad deal for me. But again, if you have to explain regular mythic mechanics to the group, it's over. It's just and they don't do it right. It's like you're gonna die. However, what needs to be communicated in voice chat is preferred. Here's treants, nice and lovely, right? Let the healer get a little bit of a mana break. Just DPS. What does need to be communicated is the variations on route that perhaps people haven't seen. And just to tell them when Pride's coming, kill evenly so we don't have like 2 huge health pools left with Pride. That's the wipe. Even one left can be a wipe. Or I'm sorry, even one big health pool can be a wipe because then we get a spite in the middle in like kind of a random place. It's not great. So that's what I think needs to be communicated. Here comes Pride. Kill these evenly. I'll focus target if it's like needs to be. I'll be like, kill this one with a skull. You'll see. I think I do that towards the end. I'm like, kill this one. Now this one. Now this one. And I'm just cycling it, right? That's basically what leading is for. Mythic Plus is like calling kicks, which I don't do on this one. It's not really like super necessary. Spires of Ascension, it's pretty necessary. But it's really like smoothing out the damage between the mobs. Or again, we have lots of ads during Prideful, then spites. Again with Pride, just bad. Not good stuff. So we're doing this right. Great. Fine place for a squall. Let's all have a picnic. I think two Gargons are going to join us. They heard that there's a party and they want to join in. There's the party. Love them. Let's just pick up some threat on them. All right, I don't want to lose threat. But, you know, we're on the last phase of this. Avenging is up. Give them the hammer. Again, I passive cleave the DPS and a perfect time for treants. Perfect, right? So this is giving our healer, you know, doesn't need to use Aura Mastery, doesn't need to use anything, you know, too hard. Craggy. No one eats it. Stone, I get it. Pre-silenced as well. the druid doesn't want, you know, that going off either. Craggy going out. And at the end of this, I like almost die somehow. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. But I think I'm pooling my cooldowns too much. I probably for the end of this could have like, hey, like, I don't know. I get some pretty decent Word of Glory procs. I probably could have popped. Oh, I did pop Ardens. And we bring him down pretty chill. Right, pretty easy. Pretty clean gauntlet, I would say. I am not going to chain pull this. I want these to be dead. And that one will be dead because this is a bit of a kite moment, and this is also prideful. So that's me typing pride, kill evenly. And everyone's done that so far pretty well. I think people understand why that has to happen. So GG's. Here comes the big boom. Ba-boom, boom. Oh, only 10k? Rip. But we're going to just keep threat, kite back, right? So that rogue getting to that low health is because they sat on a trap, almost guaranteed it. And here, I really don't want one of these left while we're here because they're putting traps on the ground. Like, I'm going to eat this trap because I'm in it, right? So that's me. That's not so bad for me, but for everyone else, it's not that great. I don't know if you can see, I'm target switching between the highest ones, right? And at this point, it's kind of trivial. Oh, look at that camera glitch, right? Bad. But we have these two shades, Mass Entangle and a Hodge, get the aggro. I'm thinking of pulling it into the room, but I think that'll freak people out, right? But yeah, pretty clean. So what's nice about this hallway is this is the diagonal trick, and look how far people are from each other, so they know how to do this. That's why I didn't want to LOS into the room. I think that would have ruined it. Basically, if everyone stands in a line, you cannot get hit by the red dots, which is really, or the cross, the plus sign, right? Because they're going off in diagonals. Pretty nice. You can do that in several dungeons, especially if you have a group with consistent pride timings. Here go prideful, pride buff, plus avenging, plus time warp. We don't no phase this boss, but we one phase it, right? I consider Gloom Squall the phase. We almost get him before Gloom Squall. Should I spoil it? But anyway, this is the end to a rather clean run, and we would have skipped those deaths had I gone with, well, first of all, if I wasn't bad and didn't get, but you're getting chained, so you're a little slow. You're getting chained by the Overseer because it's fortified and they live a long time. And then I'm trying to get out of Craggy, which just, it was like, everyone knows exactly where to run, even if I don't put it down. Good group. That's one phase right there. But I'm dodging Craggy, and also I have the chains on me, so I eat the thrust, and it's just, I'm bad. But I'm in melee, you know, I'm like right up in there, so like I'm getting all of it. I just get all the mechanics at once. I might still think with pride and just warn people so they're not like crying about it. It's like, I'm still gonna double pull. Yeah, that's one phase, right? We did one phase of so pretty strong. I'm pretty sure with pride even, unless people are like, it's +2. I'm like, you know, let's just +1 it easy. I think I'm still gonna double pull that pack. That pack will be 2 pulls. You can skip if you just hammer the left guy, only 2 come up, and then we kill the other guy after. So we'll have pride the whole time, but we're just not gonna die, you know, to a funky mechanic. I get a 203 trinket, which is like, it's okay. I consider using it, but it's an on use, and I'm kind of low on hotkeys. And my Glacial Spike, I check it out after, actually does a lot of passive healing and damage. And the other one's the OP trinket, so I'm not even going to use it. I'll see you on the next run.